Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate, or go by Always More Sims here on YouTube, and today we're doing another speed build. So, I've actually already built this house. Maybe a week and a half or so ago, I built this house, and I had stepped away from it because I didn't feel like furnishing at the time, and I don't know if you can hear the computer. The computer just was like, just went into overdrive or something, like, whew, it just got loud. But I built this house and then left it for a while, like walked away, went and had like supper or something. I remember not being gone from it for long, but just not feeling like decorating that moment, wanting to step away. I came back to it, literally clicked on the game, I started clicking on stuff, hit record, and then the game crashed and I lost everything. So thankfully, like, the only good thing I got out of this is that there's not as much fumbling, because the little like individual foundation blocks that like you can see right now at the front, I didn't have that when I first built the house. Like, I did that, well, I did have that, but only after deciding I didn't like how it looked when it was straight foundation. I liked having little segmented pieces, so I needed to do that. I was a little more prepared with the roof. The roof is very difficult on this house. The first time I built it, I couldn't get the stairs to lay properly, and this time I did, but then I was having issues with the roof because I guess the roof is like, I can't touch the stairs or something. So when we get to the roofing part, I will explain that. I'll explain the issue and how I finally just was like, fine, this is how I'll solve it, because I sit there and I mess with the roof for a while. And I had a better time with, I have columns that go up on the outside on this, like, fenced in area. Also, it is very satisfying watching, like, it spirals when it changes color of the floor, which I guess you guys can't see because it's sped up too much, but the first time I placed all the columns, I did that, and then I went to put the fence in, and even with move objects on, it's like, you can't place this here, like, because of the fence, or because of the columns. It's like, there's something blocking the way. So this time I knew I had to do the fencing before I did the columns. And yeah, so the actual, like, the whole point of me building this house, because it is another cabin style home, and the last speed build I did was also a cabin, cedar cabin, which is Ariel's house in Disney Legacy. It's the house we're living in right now. So the reason I'm doing another cabin, this is going to be Allie's house. I'm like, I'm just going to build her a house. I'm feeling crafty. I want to do it for the other kids, like with Jafar and stuff, watch it not happen, but at the moment I'm thinking, yeah, I'd love to do this with the other kids. And yeah, I mean, if she's gonna stay in the world we're in, which is, the houses are all very cabin-y, so she has it's not as cabinish as her mom's house, like nowhere near as cabinish as her mom's house. But it still has that feel, and it's actually called Olive Stone. I didn't want to call it cabin again, but I don't know, it's kind of a green color. I wouldn't technically call the color olive. I don't think that's olive. To me, olive is a little more yellowish, brownish green, almost a dirty hazel, if that makes sense. I am not a fan of the color olive, like, at all. So I might actually change that before I post it. At the moment, it's being called Olive Stone, and that's actually what I saved it as. But I might change the name because that's actually kind of inaccurate, because it's not olive green. At least I don't consider it to be olive green. And then there's this, like, the little segmented pieces are stone, and then the columns I'm going to put up here in a moment are also stone. So that's why I did that. I don't know, the name can be a little misleading. Well, I'm gonna work on it. We'll work on it before it actually gets posted. I have a while. So yeah, here, these columns, So I actually really like how these looked. Last time the wood was a lot more red, a lot more reddish orange color. This time it's a lot more subtle. I kept thinking last time, like, this is way too bright, but I'm like, I'll leave it, because it looked good with the color of the house. But then I was still kind of like, it's really bright. So this time it's a lot more of a tan color. I didn't make it as red, and I'm personally okay with that. And then I used the stained glass door because I liked the kind of like the green pattern in the door. Plus, I felt like this house didn't really need a super extravagant door, and I think the simple stained glass actually suits it really well. Now that I think about it, I should have put the outdoor, like the second door leading off onto that back deck in the back right corner. I probably should have put that door in, like the stained glass one, instead of one of those like clear pane see-through glass, whatever. We're gonna close some stuff and see if my computer kind of chills out a little bit. I don't like it when it gets all loud like this. I don't know how well you guys can hear it. I mean, it only just started once I started doing this, so it just doesn't. I'm trying to load up my game because I'm gonna do some recording for Disney Legacy. I'm gonna place the house and stuff. So I have The Sims open right now, and then I have Movavi, which is my editing program, and I don't think the computer likes it. But yeah, I like how it turned out a lot more this time. So I missed with the roofing. Looking at it right now, to the right of where I'm placing the windows, if you look down, I have the little like flat roof thing. Now when you're looking at it head on, you can't tell, but because the stairs were literally right on the other side of that wall, it wouldn't let me place the roof. And when I first built the house, it wouldn't let me place the stairs because I'd done the roof first. And I thought it was because of how the upstairs was placed. So this time I'm like, okay, I don't have anything done with the upper level. We're going to place the stairs now. They placed just fine. Then the roof was giving me issues. Like, see, I don't think I should have done this door. I think I should have done the stained glass door. But anyways, yeah, there's that little piece of flat roof. And again, when you're looking at it from the front, you can't really tell. So I mean, if it really bothers you, I'm probably going to try putting this house up for download. Don't hold me to it. I'm going to try. Okay. Sarah's on TikTok now because she's sending me TikToks. So if I do end up putting it up for download and you want to try and fix it or change it up, you be my guest. Just don't repost it as your own. I need to stop saying that's for sure. So it is currently May 27th for me, so I'm kind of in the middle of my break, and I told myself I'm not going to do any recording. I'm not going to play any Sims. I'm not going to play anything for my gaming channel. I'm so ahead on the gaming channel. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm like till pretty much like the week before August. Like, I pretty much have the whole summer recorded for my gaming channel, which is kind of sad, but I mean, oh well. At least I'm ahead because summer is going to be busy. This is the first summer in like 3 or 4 years that I haven't taken some kind of summer class. So, I mean, I'm totally looking forward to that. And I start babysitting a little boy on June 1st. And then I have my grooming job, which has been quite the adventure. And I'm not saying that in the best way. But I babysit the little boy on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, occasional Thursday or Tuesday. Which means I'm at the groom shop Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And yeah, so I guess I have the time. We'll go ahead and talk about this whole groom shop thing. So I started working there at the beginning of May. It doesn't really feel like I've been working there that long, but when I really think about it, I mean, it makes sense. I work pretty much all of the closing shifts. Except I open on Mondays. At least that's how it's been for the last 2 schedules, was that I open Mondays. I mean, I didn't open this past Monday because it was Memorial Day. But I work closing the rest of the time. So we have 3 groomers. And Sarah works there as well, and she gets along really well with one of the groomers. But see, I thought we got along really well, and then one of the other groomers pulled me aside right before she left, and she was basically like, yeah, they don't want to tell you anything, but here's what you need to fix, here's what you're doing wrong. And I'm fully, I totally appreciate constructive criticism. I have worked too many jobs where people will not tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I'm left to figure out what I've done wrong from somebody else. And that has probably become one of my biggest pet peeves, is somebody else having to tell me what I'm supposed to fix, because the person who thinks that won't tell me themselves. So if it's not like one of the other groomers telling me that a different groomer thinks something, then it's Sarah, because they all love Sarah, which that's fine. I don't care. I really don't. There I go with the again. But I don't know. I found it very annoying. And then this one groomer, the one that Sarah loves, most days she's kind of in a mood. I guess her home life with her family isn't the greatest, I guess. And I don't really know a lot about it. But it puts her in these foul moods. And then it was literally the night after the groomer had pulled me aside and said they don't want to tell you anything. They don't want to say anything to you. It was the day after, if this is making any sense. So she pulled me aside on a Tuesday. Well, that following Wednesday, I had forgotten to give one of the customers a ticket. And this groomer had come in and she was in a bad mood, and I was already nervous around her that day. I'm like, great. They already think, I'm not doing stuff right. They won't tell me it. So, I don't want to do anything else to annoy her. Well, that was just kind of the icing on the cake. I'm like, great. So, she left the ticket just sitting on the desk where, we check people in and out. And I didn't know what she wanted me to do with that. So, I went up front and I paid for it. And then she found out, and the next day she was all like, you silly girl, you didn't need to do that. I'm like, since when have you talked to me like this? Since when have you acted like you actually like me? There, I said it again. But, I don't know, I mean, it's been a lot better since. And then I had Sunday, Monday off this past week. And Monday morning, I was woken up about 6:45ish with a text from my boss with pictures of the groom shop, because I had closed Saturday night and nobody had been there Sunday. We're not open Sunday, and everybody was off Memorial Day. At least the groom shop people were. So he sends me pictures. He's like, this is not acceptable. And basically it was just pictures of the store. And this is a groom shop with dogs, which means dog hair. And most dog hair, was vacuumed up, but there was still, I guess, you leave and all the dog hair in the air, and that had been, maybe resting on something, kind of floats down to the floor. So he saw this dog hair all over the floor. It was just unacceptable, and I clearly don't know what I'm doing, and I guess, I wasn't trained properly. And so he's just ranting and raving on me. Well, Sarah's in the same group chat, and, he made a group chat with her, him, and me, and I don't know why he put her in there, but then she went off on him, and then he got even more upset, and then he took it out on me. And so I made sure I cleaned really well. I went over, I don't know how many times and this was actually yesterday. That was my first day that I was back. I mean, yesterday was Tuesday. And I vacuumed maybe 10 or 12 times. I kept remopping and basically cleaning like nonstop. And see, I hate busy work. I hate doing the same thing over and over again, but I'm like, I'm so tired of him getting after me for this. So then I sent him pictures of the store to make sure I had his approval. And he comes back, looks great, but you're not supposed to be sending me pictures. You shouldn't have your phone out. I'm like, are you serious? I just can't win with you, can I? So I quite like the job. Actually, I like the mornings that I open. When I open, there's a lot more for me to do. I'm bathing dogs. I am checking people in and out. When I close, it's more just checking people out. Maybe bathe the dog or two if they came in late or something. But other than that, it's I don't know. I get bored a lot easier at night than I do in the morning. But I'm the newbie, so I get the night shift that nobody else wants, basically. So, I enjoy the job. I mean, I could do without my boss. Nobody apparently likes the boss, like, at all. The groomers don't like him. The other employees, groom assistants don't like him. But, yeah, I'd be a lot happier if it was maybe one or two of the groomers, depending on if the third one's in a decent mood or not. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to starting my babysitting. The little boy I'm babysitting, so the woman that cuts our hair, like our beautician, like the family beautician, that's just her partner, like the other beautician that works with her in their shop. And so this is the beautician's partner's son. And then our beautician is actually looking for a babysitter because she's got 3 kids, and her mother-in-law is currently watching her youngest, and that means she has to drive. She lives about 45 minutes from town going west. Well, she has to drive 30 minutes across, out of town going east to go pick up her youngest son, and then drive, the hour and 15 minutes it takes to get back home. So she has to drive back through town. And I guess, her mother-in-law's just driving her nuts. So she's looking for somebody else, and I'm like, surely they wouldn't mind if their kids were together. I seem to have a knack for babysitting boys because that'd be 4 boys. I don't know if she's going to agree to it yet. It's actually her husband that is nervous about having me watch it's the youngest son that he's nervous about. He's, let's see, Gibson would be 6 months old. 6 months old this month or something. And then they have Griffin and Jackson's 11, and Griffin I think is 5 or 6, and then Eli, which is the little boy I'm already babysitting, is 8. So wide age. But anyways, this is coming to an end, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.